So what did you want to be when you were a kid?
That's really funny. I always kind of gravitated towards music, and at one point, you know, I was really into the whole God scene too, and I thought maybe I'd do some type of musical ministry, and I kind of fell away from that once I got into the whole jazz guy thing. You know, we started worshiping other creatures, but I always had that, you know, from a very early age, really just loved music. You know, every time I heard something on the radio or whatever, I thought, wow, I want to be one of those kind of guys.
So how did you get the nickname The Love Man?
Wow. Yeah, that's a hard one to explain sometimes. I was in this band in the early 80s called Little Steven and the Disciples of Soul, and Little Steven is Stevie Van Zandt, plays Silvio on The Sopranos, but he was, at that time, he was known as Bruce Springsteen's musical director and guitar player, Little Steven, and we did his first solo record, and I was in a hotel room with the headphones on singing along to Marvin Gaye, and he kept on knocking on my door to try to get my attention, and of course I didn't hear him, so that night, those guys, the Jersey rock guys, loved the nickname. So that night, he started calling me the Love Man, and it stuck throughout his tour. And then I was introduced to just about everybody else I met after that. Bruce Springsteen, everybody started calling me the Love Man. I don't even think they knew my real name. And I tried to shake it a couple of times. You know, say, no, it's just Mark Pender. That's good, you know. And then somebody would say, Love Man, and you know, it'd all start all over again. But now, you know, I'm completely happy with it. There are a lot worse nicknames.
How did you land the gig with the Max Weinberg 7 initially with the Conan O'Brien show?
Well, we auditioned as a band, and I actually knew Max through Springsteen's project, and there was another band that myself and Jerry Vivino, the saxophone player, and Jimmy, his brother, the musical director, were doing this jump blues project with Max called Killer Joe. You know, it was kind of pretty much like Kansas City-style music, and we were playing some gigs around New York, and Max secured the audition with the record that we recorded, and we went in and did the audition, and, you know, to my surprise, we got it. You know, I was completely blown away. I've never been part of that many audition processes. I would usually be recommended for something, and you're either doing the gig or you weren't doing the gig, and in this case, you know, there was an audition with something like 15 to 17 different bands that made the cut, and, you know, and then we got it. You know, I mean, that's pretty amazing.
What's the best thing about working with Conan?
His fierce sense of loyalty and his love of music. We're looking at now, we've been part of 3 separate projects with him, Late Night, The Tonight Show, and the tour. He's always treated us with so much respect and kindness. And he's another person who just continually works at his craft. You know, his work ethic is just amazing. And in this last tour, he did a lot more musical numbers than we had ever done before with him. And to see how hard he worked at it and how much he progressed as a musician over time, you know, always helps in the industry, you know, especially in TV, if your boss loves music.
So you guys all pretty amped up for the new TBS gig?
Oh, yeah. You know, I'm just completely excited. You know, now is kind of a tough period because, you know, I've come off this extreme high from the tour, and, you know, now I'm home back in the LA area. You know, this is a little bit of a difficult period, but I'm really excited about getting back on the air and getting back with all the guys. You know, Conan just seems so pleased with the whole TBS development, and I think that there's got to be a lot of reasons for that, and maybe that's one of them. Maybe the fact that he's really, really wanted there, too, is something else. Seems like TBS really wanted him, and that's got to feel good. Oh, boy, I sure hope, yeah, that would be a good one. That would be a little bit of justice on our part, wouldn't it?